What is up, YouTube? My name is Taylor, and this is the Tailored Effect YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking this video. I'm gonna go through with you some of the challenges that I am currently facing as a business owner, and I just wanted to share part of that journey with you. But before I dive in, I would really appreciate if you would consider subscribing to my channel and following me on other social media platforms. So with that, let's get right to the video. So I've owned my business for the last 5+ years, and what I do on a daily basis is I help local companies get incredible employee benefit packages. So it's insurance products that I'm helping sell and service to my clients. There is a lot of things that go into that, of course, just like any business, but one of the biggest things that I am having troubles with is finding the time and budgeting my time correctly with the correct tasks and the correct, most critical things that I should be focusing on. So if you are in the middle of owning a business, if you're in the middle of entrepreneurship or self-owned, self-made, anything like that, this is one of the biggest differentiators that I find that's going to help you set yourself apart from being super successful and maybe just getting by as a business owner. So what I mean by that is you can choose to spend your time, we all have the same amount of time in a day. You can choose to spend your time doing things on your to-do list that are just getting things done. They're just busy work. They're just checking things off of the list. Now, does that still give you the feeling of accomplishment? Yes. But does it actually move your business needle forward? Now, that is one of the biggest things that I am dealing with right now, is that I still have to do these things on my checklist, but I also have to do these other critical tasks in order to grow my business in the way that I want to. And the way that I want to grow my business is to continually grow my sales team. So I'm actively looking for new agents to join the team that have a winning attitude, a great personality, and that can be trained into learning this incredible vehicle that insurance is. So when you're looking at the way that you spend time, you can spend it any time. The time is still going to pass. There's still going to be 24 hours in a day, but when you start to realize that there's a power within you that you can change how you spend your time, that you can change your mind and your habits and your outcome, that is the biggest shift that I have seen in my business. And I'm in the middle of shifting again. I can feel it. I have done over $3 million worth of business in the last 5-ish years, like I just said, and I'm feeling like that's gonna be nothing when I come to it in the next few years, when I feel myself transitioning into attracting the right people into this business, and not only with sales agents and people that are joining the team, but also with clients and new people that will be coming on board that need our services. So I'm really grateful to be able to be in this position. I could not be more thrilled with where we're at, and what makes me really thrilled is the opportunity that is ahead of us. And again, as a business owner, I definitely see the value in sales and revenue and generating those dollars on the top. And that's exactly what I'm aiming for, is to continually grow the top line so that our profits as a team grow, so that all of our individual agents can grow as well, and so that I can also grow my legacy for my family and my future. So that is the very first thing, and here's the next. Okay, here's the second thing that I am dealing with as a business owner that I'm struggling with making solid decisions. So as a business owner, you have lots of different things that are on the table at the same time. Now, what I'm specifically facing is building these different systems to help create a better flow for my business. And that includes building a website, creating a CRM, an email system that is going to help keep track of everything and everybody. I'm looking at growing on social media as a business page. I'm looking at Facebook advertising. Like, all of these things take up mental energy and time, and they're all super important. So it also kind of leads back into the first one, where I'm trying to nail down how exactly I'm spending my time. And so this is another thing that I'm really working on, is how do I differentiate and tell myself this is what needs to happen, and this is when, why, and how we're going to do it. So in the middle of doing this, and like I said, I've been doing this for a few years, but I have recently gone through a new brand transition as well. So I am now rebranded to a new company, and with that comes all of these challenges that I just mentioned in the second piece of this video, is that I need to have a better grasp on how exactly I want my website to look. How do I want people to see me, see us, when they first click on the page? How do they find us? How do our results pop up on Google search? Like all of these things, I am not an expert in. And that is leading me to lean on others and to do more education and self-discovery on figuring out what it is that's going to work. Because if you literally went to Google right now and typed in how to build a website or business website, you're gonna come up with so many different results, like I'm sure billions of results. So just because there's billions of results does not mean that there's only one way to do it. And that is what is the challenge for me, is figuring out exactly what to do and how to do it. So leading back to the first part of this video where I was talking about time management and the ability to create time, I also struggle with creating time to actually think, strategize, and absorb what actually is happening in my business and in my life. So I am really grateful to have my husband, Michael. He is such a huge supporter in everything that I'm doing, but he's also got the brain power and the ability to analyze things on a significantly different level than I do. So we worked really well together as a team because he's able to see and discuss and find these things and work alongside with me to be able to develop that into reality. So working on these things, and also with this, I'm working on a new agent training portal and like videos and worksheets and commission structures and and all these things. And it's like all those things are super, super important, but also there are other things that keep going to the front burner, right? So like this needs to be top priority, this needs to be top priority, this needs to be top priority. And it's like this constant battle almost of where is my time and energy spent the most?
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
I can't tell you how amazing it is to be able to share my journey with you guys on YouTube on a platform like this. And when you're looking at growing something, whether you're growing your personal fitness, whether you're growing your relationship with a spouse, whether you're growing a business, whatever it is, you have to dedicate time to do the right things. Because I could still be at the same spot I was a few years ago, where I was doing everything. I was doing all of the servicing, I was doing all the selling, I was doing all the opening, I was doing all the follow-up, I was doing all of this and all that and all this and all that. And it was like, that's fine only to a certain degree. And if I wanted to stay there, I could have continued to stay there and continued to perform at that level. But now I realize that's not what I want. That's not where I want to be. I want to be much higher on that scale of achievements and freedom and experiences. So that's exactly where I'm at with that, is working through the struggles on how all of that, like how it all fits together. All right, here's the next challenge that I'm facing as a business owner. Okay, here's the third challenge that I'm facing as a business owner, and that is finding some level of balance. Now, I 100% understand and realize that that is actually not a thing. That's not a thing. It's not possible if you're trying to achieve the biggest dreams that you possibly can. So I realize that that's not necessarily a goal for me, is to have a certain percentage of time here and a certain percentage of time here, whatever. Like, that's not what I want. But what I do want is to be able to have the freedom to walk away from my business at any given time, to be able to experience the fruits of my labor, right? For like a weird lack of better terms. But it really is true though. I want to be able to enjoy what we've built. And so when I think about even taking a week off of time or 2 weeks off or even a month or whatever, like that time frame does not matter. But what does matter is that if I were to do that, the business would not be running as smoothly as it does when I'm here. So it's all part of the process of building and creating systems with the right people in place and the right, the right progress process, whatever you want to say. It's all part of that. So I am really big into self-development and learning about myself, my mindset, the way that I do things, the way that I, think about things and why I do them. So when I'm considering for a fact all of the opportunity and all the potential that I have around me within not only my business, but content creation and, being a public speaker and all these other things that I want to do and that I am doing just like on a little bit, like a little scale, there's nothing stopping me from creating a YouTube video a day or 2 YouTube videos every week or 3, whatever per week or whatever. Like, it's all just depending on me and my inability to focus on problems 1 and 2 has caused me to feel and be in the spot where I'm at explaining this problem that I'm having with you right now. So entrepreneurship is not easy. It is not simple. It is not any of these things that people make it look like on the internet. You know, it's not all the, you know, huge profits and fancy things and fancy cars and blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously that exists, yes, but there's also more of the middle ground and the lower ground as well. So I'm considering myself somewhere in the middle, and I know that that's not anywhere near what I could be. And that's really what eats me up, is like, not only is my business not excelling to the level that I want it to be at, but I am also not excelling to the level that I want me to be at, on a spiritual, mental, physical level, with my relationships with myself, even with money, you know, all these things that make us who we are. I just feel like there's a lot of that I'm not tapping into. And you might be watching this and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, Taylor, that's crazy talk. You've got way too much energy, and oh, I've seen your Instagram, like you post so much stuff, whatever. And although that might be true for your perspective, from my perspective, I could be doing so much more and creating so much more of an impact. Not necessarily by posting more content or whatever, but like actually sharing my story with people and telling people exactly what I have experienced, so that hopefully I can help lighten your load as well. So that's where I'm at. Problem number 3 is the balance, because I could go balls to the wall. I could go ham, baby, on doing my business and being there for my team and getting new business on like nobody's business. I keep saying business a lot, but I can do that, and I know that I can turn that on. I can turn that flip that switch on at any time. But then that means that a lot of times my exercise routine goes downhill. That means that my relationship with Michael is suffering, you know? So it's like there's a way to do all of it, and that's what I'm doing, is working on creating more time in my life to be able to move forward. And not just move forward in one area, because again, I don't just want to be a really successful one thing. I want to be a well-rounded human being. I want to be incredible. And that's exactly what I'm working towards. So if you're a business owner and you are resonating with this at all, please leave a comment of where you're at in your journey. And if you have any other advice or tips for me, I would love to hear. I do have coaches and mentors that I pay, and that I'm part of different networks, that I'm, inside of an elite group of business owners and entrepreneurs. So I know that I have lots of resources to call on, but I always appreciate hearing from you as well. If you're a viewer, I really appreciate that from you. So I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching this video. I know that I need to get better at creating more content for you and sharing more of my story, but that is what I've got for you for the last 5 years of business and $3+ million worth of insurance sold. See you on the next one.